Good morning, good afternoon, Travel Battle family. What is going on? Hope you guys are staying safe and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, and this is episode 3. Today we are talking about the Texas State Fair.
I'm Luis.
And I'm Brianna.
And this is our podcast, Travel Battles Outside of the Wire.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. All right, so we just
What is going on, YouTube? What's up? This tattoo?
We are
Travel Battles.
And this is our podcast.
Outside the Wire. So again, before we start, let us know what you're drinking. I'm having a Sunny D vodka seltzer, so don't judge me on this. I mean, I like to drink whatever, and this is actually pretty good. This is like I almost said deja vu in a cup. Well, kind of, because I had this yesterday too, but this is kind of like what is it called?
It's nostalgia. This is our childhood, but adult form.
Yes, this is nostalgia. Nostalgia in a, well, not in a cup, but nostalgia in a can. And it's actually pretty good. I do recommend this. I give this about a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. It's pretty solid.
Yep. And I'm actually drinking the same thing, but when you went to the store, you actually found different flavors. So this is the orange pineapple one, and it is dangerous. It tastes like juice. I mean,
It's solid. Cheers.
To episode 3. Just to talk a little bit about the State Fair of Texas. For those who are in Texas, I'm sure you are well aware how big this fair really is. When they say they go big or go home in Texas, they're never going home. They're always going big. So this is no exception. This is our 3rd year that we went. And I think every year we go, we love it more and more just because we get to see more. We feel more comfortable. We know, a little bit more about what to do and what to miss. And this is going to be a hard one for another state to top or beat for sure.
Every year when we go to this fair, we don't ever get to fully experience everything. There's always there's more that we don't get to see. And I think that's our fault too, because we only go once every year, and we try to make the best of it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the best way to do this is you have to go at least a handful of times a year to really encompass and get everything that fair has to offer. Because it is a lot of fair.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot. It's big.
The first year we went...
How big is the fair?
So it's the largest fair in the whole nation.
Not in the world?
The
Renaissance Fair is the largest in the world.
Now, this says in the nation. I'm actually looking on the State Fair of Texas website. So it was made back in 1886, and it runs the longest. It's the longest running fair that we also mentioned in our video before.
24 consecutive days, right?
Yeah. So it's so weird. Not even a whole month, but it seems pretty long. Mm-hmm. But the largest in the nation. And they have a really rich history here in Texas when it comes to agriculture and just the art form, which we got to see a little bit last year, not as much this year.
So just so you guys know, we're not Texas natives either. I mean, we're not from here, but obviously we're residents due to our situation. Yeah. But those of you that don't know, I mean, Texans are very prideful, very prideful. And when they do things, they go all out, they go big. And whenever they do things, it's amazing. I mean, and I'm glad to be here. Like, if you guys have not experienced the Texas State Fair, you have to try it at least once. You won't regret it. It's completely different, full of culture, full of food. It's a lot. It's a really big fair. It's a really good fair.
Yeah. So actually, Fair Park was officially designated as a National Historic Landmark back in 1986 due to the historical significance, I'm assuming, connection with the fair, which is where the State Fair of Texas is held. That's where they have the giant, I want to say Ferris wheel, but I think they have a better name for it, that never leaves. Like, it's up year round. And that's where the Cotton Bowl is for the
It is the Ferris
games.
wheel, right? The Ferris wheel.
Yeah, but they have like a different name.
Is there another name to it?
I think there is. Now, one thing we really haven't been able to see much is the agriculture part of the fair, which is a very big deal here. I mean, people are very big into raising their animals and everything with that. But like they have a whole museum for Big Tex.
Yeah, so they have a whole museum of Big Tex, and Big Tex. This is like oh man, I don't remember. This is like the third or fifth Big Texas that they had to replace throughout the years.
I think that's what I read. There were some catastrophic things that happened to Big Tex years back.
I remember the most recent one. He caught on fire, right? Mm-hmm. That was the most recent one.
Yeah, I believe so. And they change his boots every year to theme something new, which I think is really cool. But if you ever go to the state fair, definitely go to this museum they have. It's like year round, I'm assuming, but it has a whole history of Texas in general and what Fair Park is known for, and Big Tex himself, and the year change of how they had to change his face and his clothing. And even during COVID, when they didn't have really the fair, but they had where you could still drive through and I guess see Big Tex because of his artwork that they did for him. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
So if you ever go to the State Fair of Texas, be sure to check that out, especially if you're visiting. I know if you're a local here in Dallas, I'm pretty sure you know more about it than we do.
Yeah,
but
oh yeah, absolutely.
So getting entry into the fair, you actually got our tickets for that well in advance.
Yeah. So you can actually purchase the tickets online. Anybody can purchase the tickets online. For us, because of the military discount, we have to go through id.me.com or idme.com. I forget what it's called. We have to go through that, and then that recognizes you to make sure that you are a service member, or I think police officers use that too. So that's how you get the discount. I think the discount is like $7 or $10.
Yeah, they have. Person. I think that was just online, but if you go to the actual park to get your tickets, they have different discounted days, and they have different discounts for each day of the week. Like Thursdays, I think is Thrifty Thursdays. There's, I think opening day was you bring a jar of peanut butter for the canned food drive.
After 5 p.m., I think all tickets are like $5 or something like that.
They're kids' prices after 5.
For everybody.
Yeah. But they did implement a new rule now for if you are 17 and under, you can no longer be there after 5 without a chaperone over 18. So that's a change that I'm sure many people
probably bothers some people.
Yeah. I mean, the teenagers like to go and hang out, but I guess.
But I mean, it just takes one person to really mess something up for everybody else. And I think that's what happened in the past. And I mean, it's just another added safety measure. That's really all it is.
Yep.
To protect the underage children that go there and the guests.
Yeah. And I know they have different discounts for seniors that go, which, I mean, imagine just
being
high
school seniors, or are you talking about senior citizens?
Senior citizens. Sorry, yeah, senior citizens. They have where you can go and get a cheaper price during the day, which I was thinking, how fun would that be just during the day, during the week too, when no one else is there? You just go and hang out, enjoy the food. This is an actual, like, not really amusement park, but it is the vibe of an amusement park for 24 days for the locals of Dallas.
Yeah.
So those who are just here hanging out, they just stop by, grab some food. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I love that they have a variety of food options. You can't get bored with the amount of food that they have here. Beer, they have a bunch of selections on beer, alcohol. I mean, different types of drinks, desserts. Everything is, a lot of things are fried. I don't want to say everything, but a lot of things are fried. And it's crazy. I didn't know you could fry so many freaking things. They have a fried pho. Fried pho. Those of you that don't know what pho is Vietnamese
soup.
Yeah, Vietnamese soup. They fried it.
I mean, if you can fry it, they're gonna find a way.
Yeah, and we didn't get to try it because the day we went it was really hot.
Yeah, it was way too hot. But this weekend,
hot soup sounded horrible. Yeah. Oh yes, but it's getting kind of chilly out here. If you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean.
This weekend is the perfect weekend. So if you are there, or if you're going next weekend, I'm not sure if it's going to be as cold, but try the pho and let us know how it is, because we didn't get to try it. It's something we feel like we would have enjoyed, but we just knew it would have been miserable.
Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to go again. More than likely, probably closing weekend. Yeah. We have to. I mean, because this is our last year here in Texas, actually.
So the first time we went, we just picked a random day. We didn't know any of the special days. We just chose the day that we were available. We went. Last year, we went closing weekend. We took our family with us who came to visit. And this year we chose to go opening day.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were saying earlier, we never get the chance to just go multiple times. And when I tell you, this is one of those events here in Dallas that people wait for. It's like in Florida when you are Floridians and you're just like, yeah, it's common to hear someone say, I have an annual pass to Disney or Universal. That is what it's like here in Dallas for the fair.
They actually have seasonal passes for the Texas State Fair.
Yeah.
So it's a serious event. It's not no small county fair. This is a serious event that they hold.
I know someone who they just recently had a birthday, and I was like, what did you get for your birthday? They said, oh, I got season passes to the fair. And I'm like, what?
Hey, it's legit.
It's that legit. Big
yes,
here.
It is that big. It is that serious.
So
I mean, if we could, we should have invested in season tickets, actually.
I feel like we could have because
but now we're too late in this game where, we wouldn't benefit from it as much anymore.
We have so much other stuff going on that I don't know if we really would have embraced it like we needed to.
Yeah.
But we really could have utilized that to try all of the food they have this year because we were forcing ourselves to eat everything. If you've seen the video, like we had a lot of food and we were forcing ourselves.
I think not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully closing day, we'll go back.
And honestly, it was not as packed opening day weekend as I thought it would be. It was packed, but it was not as packed as closing weekend.
I personally would rather go opening day anytime over closing weekend.
Yes.
My personal preference.
Everything was clean. Everything seemed to, everything was open, really open. Like it was not as crowded as it normally is during a normal busy weekend.
Yeah. You can feel the crowd starting to come in after school hours.
But it still wasn't as bad.
No.
It was not as bad. We can still walk around. We weren't crammed somewhere. Restrooms, there were no lines for the restrooms. I mean,
they were somewhat still clean.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been there, towards the end of the season. There's also, Aaliyah did bring one home last year, I believe. If your child is in the public school system, there is like something where they come home with the tickets for a free child admission with the purchase of an adult ticket. I think it's only during the week, so Monday through Friday, not the weekends.
Yeah, it's not the weekends.
Which we work, so we can't go anyway. But if your child goes to the public school system, see if they come home with that because you can utilize that as well. I mean, it really actually would have been beneficial for us when we went. But like I said, they have different discounts for each group. Teachers, I'm pretty sure. Senior citizens have their own. The kids have their tickets they get from school. Military.
Police officer, first responders.
Yeah. So definitely check their website and see what all different discounts they have that benefit your family. And also check out like the food bank options where if you bring a canned food or peanut butter or whatever it is, they give you like half off or a discount off. I'm not going to say how much, but I mean, I think that's cool. I've never heard of that actually being a thing. So next, whenever you get your tickets, you're ready to go to the fair. Now you have to figure out parking. This is a monster on its own. Just that area of Dallas is very difficult to maneuver around.
Yeah, and you can't just fully rely on GPS. GPS will get you, but so far, I feel like GPS is going to automatically gravitate to its original point that it wants to take you. And for some reason, these past 3 years that we've been, it keeps taking us to the same gate.
The agriculture center in the back.
Yes, and we can't get in there because we're not a part of agriculture.
No.
We need to park with general parking.
But it's not just the agricultural gate. It's literally where you see the steer and the cattle and all of the animals just in their corrals in the very back before their shows.
Nobody can go there. You have to have agriculture. You have to be involved with agriculture. And I believe there's a certain pass you need to. Obviously, we're not a part of the event.
No.
So, and it's not just us. You see a bunch of other cars going that way too, and they get turned right back around.
It's a madhouse over there. But we did get to see the Budweiser Clydesdale trailer that carries them there. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
A little plus to getting lost over there. Any suggestions that we could give about parking? Avoid parking where families are using their yards for safety measures, guys, and walking distance.
And this is from experience. So I know this has no relation with EDC, which is the Electric Daisy Carnival Festival that we go to at least every year. I mean, we have in these past couple of years, but they'll have you parking like literally really, really close. You cannot leave. So you're at the mercy of the individual that parked in front of you, beside you, and behind you. You're at their mercy to leave. So you're stuck. You cannot leave at all. And it's unsecured. You're parked in somebody's little bit of land, their yard. And it is unsecured, and it is not in the best of areas either.
No.
It's about a 20, no, I want to say like a 15-minute walk, maybe?
Maybe
a 15-minute walk.
Some of them were. Some were a little closer. I think as the closer you got to the fair, they were a little more strict on that. And also be careful because, like I said, we've learned this from experience, not from here in Dallas, but Orlando at the EDC festival. They're both set in downtown of one of the largest cities in that state. Dallas being here in Texas, Orlando in Florida. You're obviously not in the best area of the city. I'm going to be honest with you. There are some people who literally just throw on some neon vests and pick a land, and they're just taking your money and parking you there. They have no rights to that land. Whoever the owner is can come home and be like, what the heck? This isn't what we offered, and they can get every one of your cars towed.
And honestly, I think that's happened in EDC once, didn't it? At EDC.
And the safety measures, they will tell you time and time again, oh yeah, it's safe. We're going to guarantee it's safe. At EDC alone, we've never parked at a home here in Dallas like that, but we did in Orlando for EDC. They will guarantee you the safety of your car. And how many times have we heard people went back to their cars and they were broken into and they're like, hey, it's private property. There's nothing we can do. Just use the parking, and you're paying double than what the actual parking section they give you for the fair.
Yeah, there was this one parking where obviously we don't pay it no mind. I mean, we're used to this. They were trying to flag us down, and it was $40 to park there.
Yeah,
$40
in a yard. No,
unsecured.
Guys, just park in the designated areas that is at the actual fairgrounds. Secured. When I tell you
there's
the
a
security,
police officer on site.
Yes,
roaming the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's an actual entrance into the park, and it's gated off. So,
and we paid literally half of what some of those homes were charging. And you have crossing guards that are helping you across from your actual parking spot over to where the entrance is. It just makes so much more sense. Now, there are multiple parking areas like this. The one we prefer, I'm assuming, is the main gate. It has the sign for, it says, howdy, folks, and Big Tex welcomes you and stuff like that. And it has preferred parking. It has handicap parking. So for those who need handicap, accessibility, use this. We parked in gate 6. Now, we drove this last time. I was like, this is not where we parked. It kept taking us to other parking sections. And I was like, I don't know where it leads you into the fair. And I was so afraid of getting lost and not knowing which exit to come out of when we were ready to leave. And I was like, no, I remember the look of it. I didn't know what gate number it was. I didn't know anything other than what it looked like and what was around. It was by the school. So if you want to look on the map, you can find like where the entrance is near the school. But we finally found it was gate 6, the main gate. It's right where the security is in the main ticket area. And it was so convenient.
Honestly, there's a sign right there that says howdy, folks.
Yeah.
So that's when you know you're in the right area.
Yeah. It's the main one. It's in a fenced in area on an actual parking lot with trees to keep you cool, your car cool during the heat and stuff, with security driving around. Yeah. Use these designated parking spots because don't be a casualty of the rip-offs out there.
Yeah, because, the worst thing is, God forbid, something happens and you have to leave the festival grounds early. Well, now you can't leave because there's a person parked behind you and a person parked in front of you and you're stuck.
Yep. Or
your car gets broken into.
Or that, yeah.
Or dinged up because you're parked so close to somebody else.
For sure. And if it rains and you're parking in a, ditch or, someone's yard, oh my gosh, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So yeah, gate 6 is where we parked. Highly recommend that gate if you are unsure of where to park. Now we'll
try to grab that. We'll try to grab the pin in Google Maps, and we'll try to upload it into the link below.
Yeah, I think they said it was on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. So that main one.
But it's easier. I feel like it's easier just to follow the pin because even if you type in Texas State Fair, it's gonna take you to the agriculture for whatever reason.
Yeah, or the other side of the fair. And this will lead you right into where you can get your tickets. If you go left, you can literally go right to Big Tex, or that's where the aquarium is. That's there year round. So if you're wondering where Gate 6 takes you, right there where the aquarium is, right there beside where Big Tex is. So I feel like it's very convenient. I have talked to a lot of locals here, and they all have said the same thing. Just park at the dart parking and ride the train over.
I've heard of that, and we'd never used that before.
No, but I've heard like it could also become a madhouse and quite expensive too. I haven't looked into it personally, but I've heard a lot of people are just like, just do that so you don't have to deal with the traffic.
Honestly, me personally, I like to have control over as much as I can have control over. So if I'm able to park somewhere and I know where I'm parked at, I don't have to wait on a train. I don't have to wait on a tram, on people. It's just when we're ready to go, and we can go to our vehicle, load up, and leave at our own discretion. We don't have to wait on something.
And I wouldn't say the traffic was too terrible. Yes, you're waiting in line, but the traffic you're waiting in is the traffic literally to get into the fair. So the same exact thing you're doing. It's no different. Once you get out of that line of getting out of the fair, it was free roaming. Yeah. I mean, it was no traffic at all. So the DART is another option if you would prefer to park somewhere off site and get transported into the fair. That's another option if you want to look into that as well.
All right. So now everybody's favorite topic, security and safety at the state fair.
Yeah. So you've already gotten your tickets. You've already parked. You're not even in the actual fair yet. You're just at your car. What's next to come? Yeah.
So for us, it was opening day. Not opening day weekend. It was like the first day opening day. So we walked in. You guys didn't really have anything on you. So actually, you had a bag on you, right?
I had a backpack. It was basic. I mean, it was pretty empty because I knew we would be filling it with souvenirs and different items. And Aaliyah, she just had her, crossbody bag, and she really didn't have anything in hers other than her phone and phone charger.
And did the alarm go off for you guys?
No,
it didn't?
No one stopped us.
So lo and behold, I'm the one with the camera equipment and the batteries and
now
the chargers and the cables and the SD cards and the other cameras. So I walk in, of course, the machine goes off and nobody pats me down. There's a lady that's working the security. And mind you, it looks like the people that are hired on are just people from the outside. I don't think they have any formal training. They're just there. So she asked me to open my bag. I open up all the zippers, and she's half A-ing looking.
Yeah.
Half A-ing. I don't want to cuss, but half A-ing looking into my bag. And then obviously the bag that I have has a bunch of different zippers for different compartments, which makes, grabbing camera gear easier and much more organized. And, she asked me to open up the zippers, and she just vaguely looks in there, and that was the extent of it. And then she just asked me, "You don't happen to have a gun on you?" And I'm like, "No." I mean, and I didn't have a gun on me. She said, "Okay, you can pass."
Yeah, I thought that was so weird. When we were waiting, Aaliyah and I had walked through thinking you were right behind us. And mind you, we're used to security measures for the parks when we go.
Yeah, used to getting patted down and, the security actually looking in through your bag, digging around.
We're used to being stopped at security just because of the battery packs and stuff. Like, it's a lot that we carry with us to film, and we're used to it. We know it's a safety thing. We don't mind it. Is it a little bit of a...
Actually, the only concern for me is like, oh man, they're going to tell me I can't film. You can't film here. And I'm like, oh, I have to take all this stuff back.
Like, what is all this? Because it's overwhelming to see all of the battery packs and stuff. And I'd get nervous with that too.
Thinking I'm up to something. Yeah.
Yeah, because it does look a little bit weird. Like, it's a lot. But vlogging has become so much more casual now. Yeah. And I think...
So people expect that already. They don't know what they're looking at, but they're expecting, equipment.
Cameras and stuff. And I noticed that they stopped you. And I was like, okay, they were just checking. And I saw you had your bag open. And I get it. The backpack is a little overwhelming with all the zippers. But it was opening day. Like, you would think opening day, I know at EDC, and I can only compare it to like EDC. Opening day is one of the strictest, when it comes to security measures ever. They made me throw away my contact solution, my chapstick. They will not let you walk in.
They almost made you throw away your backpack.
Almost
because
my backpack.
It exceeded the length, the required length. And
by
that
half an inch.
That backpack you had was actually a mesh backpack. Everything was see-through.
Yeah, you could see right through it. And then they almost made me throw away my backpack the next year where I bought the backpack there at the festival. Not to, venture away from what we're talking about at the fair, but security measures are very strong and strict, especially day one, where they're like, we're not playing games here. This was opening day here at the fair, and I was so surprised that they just asked you, do you have any weapons? Like, what? No, I was a little concerned, and we made comments about this that day when we went. We actually just heard some news last night that there was a shooting, at the State Fair of Texas. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of broke my heart a little bit because we were just there. I had just heard a lot of my coworkers talking about wanting to go to the fair this weekend because it's beautiful weather. And this happened. It's like, how? And it was just after you and I were just talking about the security measures. They needed to up them. And mind you, we were a little frustrated, like really having to be stopped. But we know it's for our safety and everyone else's safety there. So we don't mind it. Mm-hmm. And this happened. So we don't know the full details. They're still investigating. The fair ended up opening later today. They still open today. Mm-hmm. They ended up delaying opening so they can do their investigation. But this is what it's come to. It's
disheartening because this is a family event, and families, they save up to come here to bring their children. And again, keyword family. This is a family event, so they go there to have fun, and this is their Disney, their Universal, right? Mm-hmm. This is their park. This is something that they save up for. You know what I mean? And for something of ignorance like this to happen, where two, 3 adults, I don't know the count, but for some adults that just can't, they want to bring their own business to a family event.
Yeah. Now, we don't know the details.
That's shameful. That's horrible.
Yeah. We don't know the details, but you can only assume, right? What it's about a little argument that happened. Just something minor, like someone cut in line, which...
But again, you're going to bring your problems to a family event.
Yeah.
It honestly, I'm not trying to say anything, but it takes a different type of person to do something that ridiculous. It's dumb.
It really breaks my heart because all I could think about, and there were some videos circulating of the people running at the fair, but all I could picture were the parents scrambling to find their babies. Obviously, those that are stuck on the rides and those in line. It gets to be a madhouse out there when everyone is running in one location, trying to exit, not knowing where you're running or why. It's terrifying. Now, I'm very grateful we've never been in a situation like that. We've been very close at the mall. Mm-hmm. We heard about something.
That's another story for another day. Yeah.
It's dangerous out there and it's scary. And I can't imagine those families who are just like, it's the weekend. We get to relax. We get to just enjoy the fair with our kids and family members who are visiting out of town or whatever. And this happens. So... safety measures, guys. I know it gets to be a pain in the butt, but it's for everyone's safety. And I just wish, hopefully, this was a little bit of a eye-opener for the State Fair of Texas to up their security game. Don't just hire someone off the street. I get it. If people need jobs, properly train them.
Yeah. And like we discussed offline many times since yesterday and this morning on our way to church, actually. Mm-hmm. I feel like complacency, things start to happen when people get complacent. And this is what I feel happened. I feel like, day one, the employees that were working security were getting fed up, right? They keep checking these individuals whenever the metal detector goes off and they're like, I'm not seeing anything. They don't have any weapons. They don't have any knives. And it gets to the point where they're just like, they hear the alarm go off. And then it's probably one of those things where they're just like, oh, another one of these guys. You don't have a gun on you. You don't have a weapon on you. No. Okay, go through, right? It's one of those things where they're just not even checking. It's careless. Mm-hmm. So I honestly feel this is a big fault to the security.
Yeah.
They became complacent and this is what happened.
And mind you, this isn't being complacent like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your fries and your food. or I forgot something, minor. This is the lives of people. This is the safety of the community. It's not something that you can just be complacent about. This is something that if you choose to be a security guard or some sort of safety officer, that better be your main priority. And I get it. You're having to stop every single person because there's something in their diaper bag went off or someone's phone charger went off. I get it. It gets to be like, okay, it's redundant, right? It's the same thing.
And it comes to, again, to like a business type logic, like a team logic. Like you see the smaller picture and that's all they're focused on is just that small picture. Yeah. They don't realize the amount of impact that they actually have. Mm-hmm. So
it was a little disheartening hearing this happen. I just hope that everyone who was affected, there were some injuries. We don't know the extent of them at this point, but I hope everyone's okay. I hope they were able to fully investigate and figure out what went wrong with this and fix it.
And train your security people, because if they're not trained, I mean, it's already a bad look on the fair.
Yeah. And this kind of leads...
And we don't know. This is just all, things just being thrown up in the air. But
yeah, this is only what we were able to read. And mind you, this happened last night. We're just filming it this morning after church.
And this wasn't intentional either. I mean, we have our routine to film, and this just so happened yesterday
Ironically, the fair video went up before our Renaissance Festival video, and we're filming the podcast for the Texas State Fair after the Renaissance Festival podcast. So it does kind of put things out of, routine a little bit, but I feel like it was for a reason. It was so we can add this extra bonus information in here for you guys and just stay vigilant. Like, keep your eyes out when you're at these locations, because if I'm not mistaken, I heard last year something like this happened too, where kids were screaming that there was someone with a gun. But I think it was a hoax.
I think it was a hoax. Yeah.
I think it was a hoax, kids playing, but this just lets you know even more. Keep your eyes peeled. Like, eyes open at all times, watching those around you, because it could have been a hoax. This time it just so happened to be real. You never know. So this kind of leads us into the next topic, which are tickets. And mind you, when I was reading comments about this incident that happened last night, all the comments I read weren't really about people's safety, which I was very surprised. People were more upset about, well, I have all these tickets I never got to use last night. Am I going to get a refund? I don't know how the fair is handling the refunds for the entrance fee of entering the fair. However, your tickets that you purchase to use around the fair, because it is a non-cash exchangement out there, everything is done with tickets. You purchase your tickets all at once, and then you use them as your cash currency. Each ticket is $1. Once you purchase them, you can bring them back years and years and years. They never expire. So you can have tickets hidden in your junk drawer from 5 years ago.
The value of the one ticket, which is equivalent to $1, it doesn't expire. It stays the same. It's still $1, worth $1.
So when I read that everyone was more worried about like their tickets, like I have all these tickets that are not being used, you can still use them years coming. That's, just to go off of the safety measures now into the ticket topic. If you have them, bring them. We end up, I think, leaving with one ticket left every year. And obviously we lose them.
I think that's just that straggler ticket. You know what I mean? Because you start ripping them up and then one of them just ends up at the bottom of the bag.
Yeah.
But you can't buy anything with one ticket. You need at least 10 tickets, 6 tickets.
And I'm not buying a whole new thing just to...
A whole new sheet? Yeah.
A whole new sheet just to use them. So, unfortunately, we just throw that one to the side and we lose it before we go next year. And it's just kind of going to be like we find it years down the road. It's like, oh, man. But, yeah, if you do have any tickets, bring them. Sometimes the currency would change. I think they said they're worth $1 this year. So that leads me to believe years prior, maybe each ticket was...
I think they're always worth $1. I don't think they're going to change.
Maybe. But I kind of like it. You're not dealing with your card. So you're not dealing with like scam, the scammers and stuff. You're not dealing with cash. I hate dealing with cash so much. So you go to a little kiosk, buy all of your tickets all at once, and then use them around the park for food, for rides, it's all tickets.
Yeah. This is something that I wasn't used to when we first got here too. I'm used to, the fairs. I'm pretty sure all the fairs, it's money, right? Other than the rides are tickets. I'm only comparing this to the fair in Georgia and in Florida, various fairs in Florida. Mm-hmm. The fair here, everything is purchased with tickets. Food, the rides, the drinks, alcohol beverages, everything is through tickets. Even some of the kiosks inside of the building that have the showcased foods, those are all tickets as well. However, you brought up a good point. The third-party vendors that have nothing to really do with the fair, they're just contracted to be there.
Yeah, they're in the market section.
Yeah, like on the market section, right, to buy jams and clothes and whatever. Mm-hmm. And even State Fair Texas clothes, right? Those aren't tickets. That's all cash or
card.
Mm-hmm. And then last year we noticed that there were some third-party vendors that didn't accept card. It was cash only. But those are very, very rare. You have to really dig in deep into one of the buildings to find people like that. But for the most part, a lot of them take card.
Yeah.
And the entire event is tickets. So
yeah, I don't mind that. I actually prefer that. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit. I wasn't used to that when we first went because the only fair I really remember, we took Aaliyah when she was little to the one in Georgia. I don't really remember much of it. We weren't there that much. Mm-hmm. And she was way too little to do anything. It was more for the environment. I remember going to the one in our hometown. It was a yearly thing that we went to. My family did their little, not vendor, but it was like a safety mechanism that they taught the kids there for the fire department. And I would go with them, but I would go off and do my own thing. We had something called bracelet night. You pay one fee for a bracelet, and it got you on every ride all night long, as much as you wanted. It was only on like weird nights, like Thursdays or something. So I would only ride rides on those nights because you made sure you got your money's worth rather than all these tickets. It didn't help for food. I believe food may have still been cash.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure food was still cash.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense that it was cash.
But things have changed. That was also a tiny county fair. Yeah. Mind you, that wasn't a state fair. As far as I remember, I've never been to the state fair of Florida.
Me either, for all we know. I mean, probably all state fairs are like that. Everything is tickets. I mean, let us know, guys, if that is how it is for state fairs or fairs in your area. But as far as I'm concerned, only the Texas State Fair does tickets for food, alcoholic drinks, and non-alcoholic drinks and rides.
Yeah. So let us know
not the shows. The shows were ticketless. They're just free.
Yeah,
free. Yeah.
You just have to map it out on which time frame you want to go. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. What is it like at your state fair or county fair? Because I can only compare it to our county fair, which, gosh, it's been like 12 or more years since I've been to one.
I'm pretty sure it changed because times have changed. Things are different now. I'm more than certain it's probably tickets or maybe like what is it called? Dave and Buster's?
Yeah.
With the rechargeable card.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Texas State Fair and all the other fairs out there. Use a card method like that. So much easier to refill it and so much easier to keep track of your tickets.
Especially, mind you, if you're going with your family and you have younger children and then you also have like an older child that's like a teenager that's like, I want to go hang out with my friends. Here's a card, like a little ticket card or whatever it is. Go have fun. Meet me at the front, at the end, or whatever y'all plan. Instead of carrying all these tickets around, you know how many times I was ripping tickets and like having to count them, and then I would drop one, and oh my goodness.
So what we did, we made Aaliyah the gatekeeper. We let her keep all the tickets, and we would be up in line waiting to buy food, and we're like, oh shoot, Aaliyah has the tickets. So we'd have to go back to her, get out of line, get the tickets, and then come back and then do it all over again.
Yeah. And it would help her counting, right? But it's like, make it more convenient for these families that have little ones that are, you don't have time to be counting all these tickets.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it is convenient to do a bracelet or something simple where you can just show your bracelet, go on any of the rides, still do something different for the food. I agree. But the kiosks were pretty easy. We went to the kiosks that were automatic. It was like an ATM, but for tickets. Mm-hmm. We got all of our tickets there. We really didn't go to the ones that had the people that you dealt with. So the ones at the kiosks were larger sheets that you could get like large amounts of tickets at a time compared to the ones where you were dealing with people. They would count out smaller amounts that you were trying to get if you just need a few more tickets for a food item or something. So if you're looking for the convenience, the ATM kiosks, I guess you would call them, for the tickets were really convenient for us. I like them.
Yeah. So the Texas State Fair, obviously the Texas State Fair is known for their food. And so much so that they rate their food and they make it to this thing called the Big Tex Choice Awards food.
Yeah.
And that is housed inside
It's in some pavilion, literally behind Big Tex. You see Big Tex's butt when you're walking out of the pavilion. It's the easiest way to say it. You walk right in, and it's like a giant cafeteria. Oh my gosh, it's huge. And it's loud.
It is loud.
But, not to steer away from it, you fill yourself up with food there, and then they have the giant massage chairs. Yeah. You get to cool off a little bit from the heat or warm up if it's cold outside like this weekend.
Unfortunately, that's only 18 and up. So if you have children, they're just going to have to wait out or...
Go get them a funnel cake while you go relax in the chair.
Yeah, honestly.
And it's really kind of like dimmed down. It's dark right there too.
And it is worth it.
Yes.
Especially after a long day of walking. Oh my goodness.
And it's free, right?
Yep. The only thing that's annoying is, of course, they're salesmen. They're trying to pitch these things to you and they're trying to sell it to you. And you're just like, shut up. I'm trying to sit here and relax.
Hey, don't mind me. I was ready to pack one up in our truck and take one home after that. But to go into the food, yes, you walk through that little hallway that has the chairs on the side. They're going to try to get you to come in and sit. Do it after you eat so you can fully relax. But yeah, that's where all the winners are. The Big Tex winners that I don't even know when they start the voting, who does the voting. I want to be the one that does the voting on these because...
Oh, I'm right there with you. That would be so fun.
Yeah, there were some that were well-deserved to be there. There were some that I was like, I would prefer this over it. And actually, our Badge of Honor winner was at the booth that had one of the winners, but it wasn't the food that won. It was something else they had there that we preferred. So...
Yeah, the one that we preferred, which I think is the one that ranks the best food that we've had there this year, is the chicken katsu sando, which is basically a chicken sandwich made out of chicken breast, truffle sauce, chili sauce, some type of chili sauce, right?
It was like a chipotle mayo type of sauce, something.
And then Japanese bread. The Japanese bread tasted like normal bread to me.
Y'all, it's a Japanese chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
So good.
It is so freaking good. I was not expecting that out of a state fair. I mean, state fair food is good, but I was not expecting something of that level to be so freaking good.
I guarantee they actually have a restaurant or something in Plano or
they
Carrollton.
do. They said that they do have a restaurant. I don't know where, but I mean, we have the name. We can check them out.
I mean, Plano and Carrollton, if you love that type of food, that is your town because...
And for those of you that don't know, Plano and Carrollton and Richardson are very big Asian communities.
Oh my gosh.
So the amount of food there it's a lot, and the food is amazing.
And for
really
something
good.
like that to make it to the Texas State Fair where everything is fried. Yes, this was fried, but I feel like the katsu was done...
It's a different type of fry. It's like tempura fried.
Yeah, it's very light. It wasn't greasy at all. It was so delicate. Now, mind you, that was our Badge of Honor winner. Every one of us were like, that it wins. 5 stars for us.
And in order for it to be a Badge of Honor, it has to get a 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10.
For
Same
all
ratio.
3 of us.
From all 3 of us.
Except alcohol.
Except
Aaliyah
alcohol,
can't
which
vote
is
in that.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That got the Badge of Honor from all 3 of us. But that wasn't the Big Tex winner. The Big Tex winner was the
fruit sando.
Fruit sando, which we got the strawberry sando. And we asked the woman who worked there, we don't know which one we want. Should we get the strawberry or the fruit one? And she actually recommended the strawberry one over the fruit one. So who's doing the voting out there, guys? Because I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, the fruit sando, I feel like that would have been pretty good. But the consistency of the fruit probably would have thrown me off.
Yep.
Because it's just sitting there too.
I'm very picky with my fruit.
The strawberry was nice and firm. It had a nice little bite to it. That should have been the winner.
And that was one of the first things we ate earlier in the morning, thank goodness, because I'm afraid when it gets super hot in the day, that probably would have been a little too much
Yeah,
to eat
it
when
can
it's
upset
hot.
your stomach. Yeah.
Because it's cream. But back to the chicken sando, it was so light. It's fried, which to me is very fitting, but a different type of fried. And it was so well done. So like, and it had a little bit of spice from it's not really even spice, just a lot of flavor from that mayo, the chipotle mayo. And it was so nice to just sit in there and eat that.
And mind you, I mean, you're going to get thirsty, right? And it paired so good with the yuzu lemonade.
Yeah, we had a yuzu Arnold Palmer there. So you get a little bit of that Texas sweet tea and then the lemonade, the yuzu lemonade
Japanese
from them.
flair.
I love yuzu. I love anything citrus. So that paired so well. It was light and fresh, refreshing.
Because it was hot outside too.
Yes. But that yuzu, it wasn't like your typical fair lemonade. It was a little something extra.
The yuzu, it's the yuzu.
Yeah. But it just had that, it was a different freshness.
And again, for those of you that don't know what yuzu is a mixture. It's like a combination of a lemon and
I think an orange, right?
an orange, or a lime and an orange. No, lemon and orange. And it tastes more like zest, like the rind of a lemon. But when you zest it and just let it candy just a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's perfection.
It has a richness to it. So it's a little more rich than acidic. Like like your typical fair lemonade is like acidic, like tart, like oh my goodness. This wasn't. It was so well done. And then that leads us into the next food we had right there in the same pavilion for the Big Tex. And this actually was a winner of the Big Tex Choice Awards, and that was the birria bombs. Yeah. I'm heartbroken by this, guys, because when I looked at the map and I was like, this is what I'm getting. We came here to Texas 3 years ago, and it was one of the first foods we tried, and I fell in love with tacos de birria. Fell in love with them. Texas does something different around here with this meat.
Yeah, same. I've never had tacos de birria before we came here, and this is the standard.
Yeah.
This is standard.
So when I saw it on the menu, I was like, all right, we're getting it. I go up there and they're like, oh, we just sold out. We'll have more in like an hour. I sat in that pavilion for an hour waiting for it to come out. And I went up there and got it. It was good. I think we rated it a 4, maybe a 3 or a 4. Now, the reason I was so I was dedicated to sitting there and getting this food because it brought the Texas flair of the birria and the potato ball, which was like a papa rellena that we used to get in Puerto Rico all the time. That was actually one of the first foods I had in Puerto Rico.
Which is a fried potato ball, basically. Stuffed with like meat inside.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And when I had that in Puerto Rico, it was one of those foods that anytime I saw it on one of those street vendors on the side of the road.
And honestly, it's like a good snack to have. I mean, pair that with a beer and you have yourself a little snack right there.
Yeah. It's filling. So you know you're going to get full off something small. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, Puerto Rico and Texas together, can't go wrong. It was a little lackluster to me. The meat, I feel like, needed a little more flavor. Now, the sauce had all the flavor and all the spice.
Consomme.
Yeah. But I still feel like it was lacking something. And I don't know if it's because, like, okay, we waited all this time and we got all the anticipation built up so much. I could have done without. I could have went and got something else that I would have preferred. It's still good. I'm not saying not to try it. I'm just saying don't put so much anticipation up on it.
Yeah, no, it was all right. It wasn't like the highlight of my day. It was okay.
Yeah. It's not something I'm like, I need to go back and get again. Now, could it have been, were they a little rushed because it was such a high demand product? Maybe. But I know another item in there we didn't get, which was their Biscoff cheesecake.
Yeah, that was one of the things we wanted to try too. It made it to the Big Tex Choice Awards. We were just full.
Yeah, I was so
You
full.
can't try everything in a day. You just can't.
Yeah, and the more I'm seeing it, I'm like, I kind of want to try it. So maybe closing day.
This is more of a reason to go back closing day and try those things we didn't get to try.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons, guys. I'm not going to say we don't go there for the rides. The food is the reason why. I understand the season passes for the fair because you can go every day and still try something totally different. I mean, They had the weirdest food this year that it caught my attention, but we just were too full to even try.
Yeah.
So now that's from the Big Tex Choice Awards. Then we go out to the other parts of the fair where they had other food. What are some foods that you were like amazed over, and some that you were just like, I wish I didn't get?
Like foods or drinks or
Both. Now I know the drink.
So the drink that really was a disappointment in a cup was the cotton candy margarita. That thing was gross. It was literally just straight sugar and sugar. You couldn't taste the alcohol. It was not good at all.
No.
It was just sugar in a cup. It was not good.
And I'm surprised they ID'd me for that, because it's like
I don't know why they ID'd you. There was no alcohol in it, basically. So
it didn't taste like it.
Yeah.
It was just sugar, and it got everywhere. It melted on our hands. It melted on my phone, on the map. The cotton candy melted before the lady even took it from the counter over to hand it to me. And she's like, oh, let me put some more cotton candy on there, which, thank you. I mean, I appreciate her trying to allow me to see the cotton candy on it.
Yeah, but don't put no more.
It got everywhere. And you still didn't waste it, and you made sure to drink it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to waste really anything, especially if it has alcohol in it. I'm not going to waste it.
No, but that was such a disappointment. I had to throw mine away because it was just melting so fast all over everything. I lost our map because it got all over it. It melted everywhere. So stay away from that. We have some other drinks that we prefer instead of that.
The food?
I wouldn't say a disappointment, but I'm saying I think it was hyped up a little more than what it needed to be. And that was the fried cacio pepe, which was the fried Parmesan pasta. It wasn't a disappointment, but I wanted more from it.
Yeah, I mean, that was like overhyped, but it wasn't. I mean, I would get it again.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm actually searching out to get.
I'm going to ask them for double marinara sauce next time, because I get it, inflation, but come on, guys. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
It was still good. Now, that came from Italy. The booth was Italy, which when I saw that, I've never eaten there, but I've heard great things about it. I was expecting some good stuff there, and I know they had other food there that looked...
Which is an actual restaurant that's in this glorified mall, right?
Yeah.
Italy.
It's expensive, and it's like a market, too, like a grocery store or something.
And it smells so bad.
Oh, the meat.
The cheese.
The cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to go again, try that, but I want to maybe try another pasta or something they had there instead. And we also, in that same area, had the fried fireball. Ah,
yes, the fried fireball.
The devil and angel.
I was looking into this one for a while. When I saw that it was on the map, it wasn't a disappointment. It just didn't make any sense. I wouldn't have called it a fried fireball. I would have probably called it an angel devil fireball.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that. Don't say fried fireball, because the actual fireball was not fried. It was an angel food cake that was fried and thrown inside of a shot glass with fireball. And mind you, it tasted good. Yeah. It paired well.
We thought it was a funnel cake until we read it.
It tasted like a funnel cake. I mean, funnel cake is fried batter. So, and then angel food cake is the final form of a batter that's fried.
It was good. I'm not going to lie. And I love just a shot of fireball. It goes so well. I think the little fried angel food bit was a good added touch. Mm-hmm. I still feel like it could have used a little more. I agree. The name was really misleading.
It's misleading, yeah.
It reminded us of last year we heard about like fried beer. We didn't try it. Now that I heard some people's reviews on it, I'm glad we didn't try it.
Yeah, think about that. Fried beer.
Yeah.
Only Texas would think of frying beer.
It sounds like just fried yeast, because there's nothing left in a beer after it.
And you know someone that tried it, and what did they say?
They said it tasted like a just dough that was fried and soaked in beer. So now I'm thinking like it just doesn't sound appealing. They didn't like it. So no thanks. And then I heard about fried butter. I wouldn't do that either, because it's just like you're just eating a ball of butter.
Basically, the way I see it is like a biscuit with just a lot of butter on top.
Yeah.
That's what you're eating.
And just deep fried. So you're, I mean, grease on grease is what you're eating. I mean, I guess it's it's one of those novelty items. I think the fried fireball was also one of those just novelty items. You just want to go and say, I had fried fireball. It was good. I'm not saying I won't get it again. I'm just saying I agree the name. Come up with a clever name. Angel and Devil. That to me would be like, hey, what is that? So, yeah, try it. Give it a try. They also have just a shot of fireball if you didn't want the little angel food things. But I think go for it, all in.
Or just grab it and throw it out and just drink the fireball. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Crush it up in
you
there.
Choke on it. You couldn't really drink it.
But that, to me, I still liked it. I wouldn't have turned that one down at all. All right, so now that you've had some food that we discussed, now we have some drinks that we say are a cannot miss. You have to make a little bit of a detour, which I think it's fine because it's in the new Dinosaur Lagoon that is brand new this year. Don't miss that. It's a little out of the way, but the dinosaurs alone are really cool. And if you need a fun little spot to take your little ones to go play on a playground and wear them out while you have a drink, that's your spot.
And they're life size, right? The dinosaurs that were on there, life size?
Yeah. I thought that was so neat. They were realistic sized. So that was something that I was shocked by.
I think that's pretty cool and pretty clever, actually, of the Texas State Fair to add those extra touches and additions to the park. I mean, it just elevates the park just a little bit more, and it keeps the park growing and changing, and it just makes it more relevant.
Yeah. And to me, it made it worth it for those that have younger children or those that are just like sensory overload, because it is loud there at the fair. It was a lot of green grass area over there. Go over there and have a little picnic or grab a drink from the Canosaurs Cantina?
Yeah, Canosaurs, something like that. Yeah,
I call it like, I don't know. I called it like Cantosaurus or something, but hey, either one.
And it was really quiet there compared to the rest of the park. Well, they had music playing, but I mean, even then it was not as loud as everything else. It was just relaxing and just like a spot to be at after just being around a whole bunch of people, a bunch of loudness. This was a spot to be at.
A lot of trees. People were out there taking naps in the grass, and I was thinking that is where to be for sure. Have a little drink there, a little picnic. You can get a drink there and sit at some picnic tables, the breeze coming off the lagoon, and your kids are playing on the little playground. Wear them out a little bit. I loved it over there. The whole vibe was so calming.
Yeah.
But the drinks, that's what we're here for. They only showed, now, the map got it wrong. When it talked about the new food items and drinks of the year, it called it La Pitufa? La Pitufo. La Pitufo is what they called it. And my brain could not process what it was saying. It didn't. I even wrote it down like when we were making a list of the food and drinks we needed to try. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So you were actually getting a seat for us at the puppet show, the marionetas. And I was like, let me go grab us a drink real quick. When I got there, it made so much sense. They just wrote it wrong on the map. It's La Pitufina, which was the pink version of the drink, the Smurfette, and then El Pitufo, which was the blue Smurf drink. And I was like, y'all ruined it on this map, guys. I don't know what y'all are doing, but they had too many of those drinks. I get it because they were so good, but it had I didn't taste any alcohol in it. That's what was the dangerous part. I tasted none.
Was it vodka or tequila? Or
it was
rum?
I think both.
Both?
Honestly, they put like a few different drinks in there and they were quick with it too. And then they had just a stand full of different candies. And then they had them on skewers, like little candy skewers that they stuck in there to go with the theme. They rimmed the rim of the cup with like candied sugar and stuff. Oh my gosh. It was so good.
Yeah, that drink was the highlight of the night there, obviously. It was delicious. It was not too sweet. I mean, I feel like I want to say Sprite. Was it Sprite?
I think it was Sprite, or it could have been like what's the other lemon one?
Fresca?
Something like that. Maybe.
Squirt?
Yeah, that one.
It wasn't as sweet, but with the candied rim and then the candies inside and then
it was so
the blue
fresh.
chamoy type sauce that they had on top. It was really good. Everything paired amazingly.
Which I
Other
find
than the candies, because the candy's kind of soaked in a little bit, the gummies, and they got a little too like, ugh.
But ironically, that one had all the sugar and all the candy, and that one still wasn't as sweet as that cotton candy one that we had.
It wasn't. Yeah, think about it. It was literally candy on top of a candy drink, and it was not as sweet, not even close to being as sweet as the cotton candy Rita.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hear Argon out there just going after the other dog, going after Adam or the cat out there. So excuse Argon. He'll make his appearance in here one day, just not right away. But yeah, those were the first two drinks. I went up there and I was like, which one's better? And they're like, you really can't. You either like one or the other. And I was like, let me get both. So we didn't really have to share, which I'm glad. I would have been upset if we had to share because I drink mine just in the show. Yeah. Like quickly.
But at the same time I did, like equally.
And I baby my drinks a little bit. So if that says anything. I got the blue one and the pink one. I prefer the pink one. I don't know the flavor difference of it, but I just prefer the pink one over the blue.
I found them to taste very similar. I didn't have a preference. They were both equally just as good for me.
Maybe it was just the candies on top that tasted a little different. I'm not sure, but...
Because think about it, it was the same. Everything was the same except the color was different. Obviously, the color, there could be a different flavor too. Like yours was raspberry or strawberry?
I think it was strawberry or watermelon or something.
Like blueberry or raspberry.
Yeah, blue raspberry.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can remake it. We'll have to remake it for one of our next videos. That would be fun. And make a little like non-alcoholic version for Aaliyah because she was missing out on the fun. She saw just a cup of candy and she didn't know.
No, she didn't drink it.
No, she didn't. But she didn't know like why she couldn't because it's candy. And I get it. Like with all the candy, you're kind of...
It's appealing to kids.
Yeah. So we got those drinks and watched the show. And then we went back to see what else they had. And they had food items too. We just... small snacks or something in the fruit cups and stuff like that. But this is where you got the michelada.
Yeah, the michelada was okay. It was whatever.
It was huge though.
That was pretty big. And
you got a choice of which beer you wanted in there too. So that was nice for those who don't like certain beer. And then I ended up getting the cantarito.
El cantarito. El cantarito, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Just because I wanted the little cup. That ended up going in the trash later in that night.
That drink was really good.
It was so good.
That was a solid drink.
Yeah.
I think that one we gave the badge of honor. That was a good drink.
Yeah.
And so we did that to the El Pitufo and the Pitufina too.
Yep. I would go back alone just to get those 3 drinks for sure. Those were major highlights of the day. And then they also had agua frescas, which we got the horchata. It was all right. It wasn't our best. But it was refreshing for the day. But if you wanted those fun little jars, that drink that I had was a good one to get. And you get to keep the little cup. Except you threw mine away.
That was on accident.
All right, so now we're going into our thoughts on the shows that they had there. We didn't get to catch all of them, unfortunately. There were way too many. And we were just so busy bouncing around looking at different food that we didn't get to make it to all the shows. But one that we've missed both years that we made a point to watch this year that we still almost missed was the pig show, the pig races.
The pig races.
Yeah, we almost missed it this year because they moved it. Now it's over where you drive the Chevy vehicles. And I was so upset because we almost missed it. But it was a really cute show. I like that.
I like that show. The announcer guy, he kind of sounded like he was out of breath the entire show. His puns were kind of funny. They were like just pork puns. Pamela Anderson and
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Aaliyah really got a kick out of like the different names and stuff. Cause
that was funny.
Yeah, that was really cute. And seeing the little baby pig, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked the little show.
But
it was hot. It was too hot to fully enjoy.
Yeah. So if you are able to catch the pig show, definitely catch that one. If you can't catch any of the other ones. Last year, we got to see the all-star dog stunt show. That was a really cute one too. But we put the pig races over that one this year because we couldn't catch both. So those are really cute shows to do. Just relaxing. You get to sit down. I feel like the pig races could have been, the seats should have been a little higher so you can kind of see over the fencing a little better. But as far as I remember, it used to be in that big Coliseum where they do the horse shows, like the Majestic of the Horse or something like that. So I'm kind of bummed that they moved it. That would have been really nice to see it in a stadium view, but I guess it was too small of a show for that big of an arena. So I get it.
Yeah. I mean, the one show that we did make the effort to see, and the one show that you guys should definitely see, is La Fiesta de Marionetas, which is a puppet show, basically, a Mexican puppet show.
Yes. And those are some intricate puppets. I think they said they cost up to like $2,500.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Insane.
And it takes a skilled person to work those puppets.
Yeah, they said each person there has like their own level. There are different levels of their mastery of the puppets. And I was like, that's insane how well done like they are. You kind of just get encompassed into the whole show. And one that gets me every time is when they start doing the Dia de los Muertos.
The little ceremony at the end.
Yes. The music, along with like just how well done the theme is, so beautiful. And
if you're familiar with Coco from Pixar, it's basically that just toned down and squished together.
They have some other little funny ones before that too, which are really cute.
Yeah.
And they have the Selena one. I think that's amazing. You can't have Texas without Selena.
Yeah.
So that was an added touch.
Texas, Selena.
Now, we saw it last year, and that was our first year ever seeing it, and I was a ball of tears last year.
I did not expect that show to be that good, and I didn't know what we were walking into.
No. We accidentally sat there last year. We were just trying to find somewhere to kind of sit down. We were overwhelmed. It was hot. We were stressed out because we were so overwhelmed trying to find what to eat, where to go. We overthought it. And we saw that, and we're like, oh, it's just like, we saw like the McDonald's thing. We're like, oh, it's a little kids show or something. No, adults can enjoy that too.
It was like for adults too.
Yeah.
Full on, yeah.
And Aaliyah really enjoys that part too. And they even have little puppets for you to buy for your kids if they're really into it.
And this is like a little, I guess, personal subject for me. So growing up, like all the state fairs that I've been to, I mean, none of it's really been culturally, I guess, it never really encompassed that type of culture. And I can see why. I mean, Florida's a little bit different, you know, so is Georgia, but Texas is really prideful. Again, anything to do with Texas, they will make sure that Texas is represented. And then when it comes to Mexican culture, they really encompass that, and they love the culture and they respect their culture and their roots.
Yep.
And that's what I love. I felt like I've never been to any fair where I felt really connected other than the fair here in Texas. It really is connecting. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird to say, but I want to say a little bit reassuring. I mean, it's a weird choice of words, but I feel reassurance whenever I see that show. And whenever I go to the fair, the State Fair of Texas, I feel like this is a part of me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes the culture feel seen. Yeah. Because it is actually, the fair is happening during Hispanic Heritage Month. So it makes all the sense. Embrace the culture. Embrace Texas. The culture is literally Texas. So for them to include that was such a beautiful touch and something totally unexpected. That alone was so beautiful. Now, when you talk about the Dia de los Muertos, like building that they had, where they have all the guy that makes the piñatas and the
sculptures.
Oh my gosh.
That was a really touchy subject too.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, but last year.
They had the altar, the ofrenda for the children that had passed in that school. So just the extra touches that they make at this fair set it apart from every other fair ever. And I feel like Florida, now we haven't been to the State Fair of Florida. I'm so excited to finally go. I mean, we are Floridians, so the fact that we've never been.
Our home, where we're from.
Now, I'm not saying I've never been. I don't know. I don't remember being there. So to me, it doesn't count if I was really little. They might have some culture there too, but it's not going to be the same. The culture isn't going to be as rich as what Texas does, because Texas surrounds themselves with the culture, and I love that so much here. So the Fiesta de Marionetas, even if you're an adult, go sit in there. Just give it a try, because if you've seen our video, you can see it is a little more, they do have some little more things for adults to enjoy, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, the magic show. Now, this was one that we tried watching last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we couldn't find it.
No.
I think it was buried.
So on the map, it'll show a certain spot, and we're like, oh, it's right here. Let's see here. It will make it look like it is outside in that one little pavilion where they have, not pavilion, but it's like a little stage thing. It's outside. It's where they have the strongman Mike there, I think. Last year we saw another, it really wasn't a magic show, but it was something similar, and we're like, this is weird. We thought it was the magic show. It's not. The magic show is inside the building. You literally go right on alongside the building, and it's inside there, and it's in a little, not air conditioned. It's still warm in there, just like.
It's not advertised.
No.
It's really hard to find.
If it wasn't for the guy standing outside with like a clown nose and a megaphone telling people where to go, I would have been lost. Mm-hmm. So we try to explain in our video the best place, like how to find it. Mm-hmm. It's behind, you have to go between like these little food booths. It's behind where the other shows are, that is outside, where they have like outside benches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's a really fun show. Yeah. I was completely lost and confused how they did it. Yeah. They were so well done. Overall, I love the State Fair of Texas. I feel like it's going to forever be something that we may want to travel back when we leave Texas and come and see every year. It's going to be a tradition for us. I mean, just you're at the State Fair when you hear Big Tex say howdy, folks. Like, so the funny part is we originally saw it on King of the Hill.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And we love King of the Hill. We binge watched the whole season.
We watched it like 5 times. I swear, 5 times.
It's so different when we actually watched it and we were moving to Texas. And little did we know how accurate the show is to what is here in Texas. So when we saw that episode, we're like, we have to go. Little did we know when we were moving here to Texas that we would be in Dallas, where the fair was. Mm-hmm. Now, could I see myself driving 5 hours from San Antonio, or 3 hours from Houston? Probably not. That's a little, excessive. But that we moved here to Dallas, we're so blessed that we were able to move right here in the heart of Texas. And I love it. So it kind of brings our whole love of King of the Hill in too, just seeing it. And whenever we heard Big Tex say howdy, folks, for the first time, I was like, this is real. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those moments. Just embrace it. Just stand there and listen to him talk for a while when you first arrive. The food is unmatched to any other fair. It's not your typical funnel cakes and corn dogs. They have so much more that brings the culture of Texas itself to life. Mm-hmm. So definitely do not miss. I kind of wish they had something like at Epcot, where you can get a card or something and make it fun, where you can hit certain booths and then, I don't know, you win
like a little stamp and get a reward at the end.
Yeah, I think they should do something like that. I think it would make it a little more fun, and
it would get people to try different things. I feel.
Yeah, there are a lot of foods on the menu that you're looking at, you're like, I don't know. But if you had an incentive where, let me finish this list of whatever the theme is, it would get people to try new items.
You're right, yeah.
So that would be really fun. Big Tex, if you're listening, make it happen next year.
Yeah, so my overall thoughts too of this fair, I mean, this is not your ordinary fair. This is a monster of a festival. It is huge. It is amazing and so rich with culture. Mm-hmm. That's what I really love about this fair. So I feel like wherever we go, wherever the Army may send us, I don't feel like any fair is going to ever compare to this fair. And it's sad. It's kind of sad because I'm not giving these other fairs a chance. We're not giving these other fairs a chance. Yeah. And I'm going to be a little bit biased. I mean, this has so much.
But it's the largest.
And it's the largest.
You can't compare.
So it's not our fault. It's the Army's fault for bringing us here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to top for sure. Yeah. The largest and the best. Best is to be determined. But as of now, it is the best.
Yeah, so far.
I'm curious to know in the comments below, what is it like at your fair, your state fair? We've never been to any other one. We can only compare it to Texas. What is the top food at your state fair? Because I'm all about food. I feel like that wins every time.
I mean, come on now. Fried beer, fried birria bombs, fried drinks.
Yeah.
What other fair does that? Like,
I'm curious. So we'll be excited to hear.
This fair, they test the waters here, and they are not afraid to try anything.
Yeah.
So
something I do feel.
Try anything.
Something I do feel they could have gone a little bigger on the parade. But let me go ahead and clarify that before I get roasted in the comments on that comment right there. I don't even know if any other state fair has parades.
That's true. I don't think so.
So let me go ahead and clarify that.
Well, I feel like you're comparing this now to like Disney parades.
Yes, I am. I mean, the Texas State Fair is the Disney of fairs.
Yeah.
So it's only right. They don't only have the marching bands and the, I don't know what else normal parades would have. Like I'm thinking of like your county parade, but it also had the big floats and stuff, which is remarkable, first of all. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know if any other fair has floats in their parades like that, or is it just the walking, marching bands and, the trucks,
I don't think so.
So
I don't think so.
Let me clarify that. But the last parade we saw, it had a little bit of hiccups for sure. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening on episode 3 of the State Fair of Texas. We are so excited to hear your opinions and comments down below. Let us know what it is we may have missed, because we will be planning to go back and we want to make sure we don't miss your top hits there. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we're all about the food and the drinks there. Let us know your tops, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.